with the AA Blast.
Yes. Yeah, if they're able to sort of get that set up, get that hit on target. We do now have everybody back in the lobby, so back in the game, so we should be able to go. Here we go. The G's been cool. We're ready to play here, ladies and gentlemen. Game 2 of Water Rune Enjoyers versus Into the Breach. Into the Breach currently up 1 game in this best of 3. Loser of the series will be going home or staying home. That they will be out of the running in this qualifiers, and the winner will get to go on and play against the winner of the following series, which I believe there may be some ladies and gentlemen looking forward to in the chat, watching at home. Of course, Alliance versus Team Bold Reborn will be coming up after this series, and the winner of that will play against the winner of this.
Ooh. Well, they looks like they might be trying for a first blood here. Both teams doing similar as they did last game. Just the high ground wards to see any of these lanes, but they're actually warding they're warding defensively for mid. So this is to protect versus those tiny rotations in particular, because there's a lot of kill threat onto this Bat Rider. If one rotation from ZYZZ comes in, there's a Lina, they could set up onto Supreme. You do see this Tiny up here too.
Now, nobody wins.
A naked Tiny as well, because I believe he did the boots thing, where you get boots level 1, run out, sell them, put down the ward right away, and then you deliver your items after. Okay, now he's got his items. He'll lose his courier, though.
He will lose his courier. Easy courier there for Kadaro.
He also could lose his life.
He might lose his life. As Kadaro getting very, very low. And he will die. BNC actually with that Crypt Swarm was able to get the kill first. So Water Rune Enjoyers will get first blood. But yeah, poor old ZYZZ loses his courier, watches it die before him, and then he dies himself.
Do get 3 bounty runes, though, and one of them is just left. So 3 for 0 at the moment until somebody picks up that last one. Offlaner getting first blood, though. That could be nice. And we do actually see the lane dodging. Okay. So they were also worried, it looks like, for the Void, perhaps. And they're putting Otaker down bottom with Kadaro. Maybe thinking that they can actually apply a good amount more pressure up here to BNC with the 2 nukers. Since they're, like we were saying, the CM and the Visage into the NS and the Bane. The NS and the Bane can actually tank it, so. Yeah. Okay, into the breach, I like it.
No, I guess that's fair. I mean, one thing as well about that top lane is, you know, once sort of the toss and the avalanche is available, if Faces Void tries to time walk away and you get kind of caught in that stun toss back underneath the Death Prophet, you're just dead.
Yeah.
You know, it can be pretty nasty.
That's why I'm really glad they actually did go for this. Well, we'll see how well the Void's able to do down bottom, because sometimes I see these lane swaps because you're like, oh, I don't want to lane this, and then he literally just can't get anything anyway because he's into a tough lane. This is not an easy lane either.
Not an easy one to get the CS right. You know, hefty right-click advantage here from the Night Stalker.
And just the regen that they used to have, like 4.7 on Bane, or on Night Stalker, 3.2 on the Bane. They're able to just constantly trade with you a little bit better. But we'll see. This is the lane that they wanted anyway. They wanted to go for this, so we'll see if it pays off for Into the Breach.
But of course, also the lane that Water Rune Enjoyers were like, all right, that's what we're doing. You know, they themselves didn't try and match this or swap anything up.
Nope, they're cool with this. They're like, all right, well, if you want to dodge a lane, I don't think we care. We have the better lane matchups overall anyway. Mid, first 2 waves, doing excellent on Supreme.
Keeping it dead even, and we'll see if that continues as the levels start to come in for Stoikov.
Got a lot of stacks right now on Stoikov. Stoikov's fine, though. He did go for bottle, though, on the Lina a little earlier than usually we traditionally see. Like, you rush the boots with the wand, and you play versus the bat with that, but cool approach. Just wants to... I mean, with Lina, it makes a lot of sense, too, because you just want to always keep the Fiery Soul stacks up, but usually you can with just a stick. Does have to be a little careful, because he didn't go for those boots, though, that he could just get walked down if he makes a mistake at level 4.
No, I was going to say, is this sort of a lane where there is potential for solo kills?
The fact that he didn't go boots. Yeah. Usually, like I said, like 90% of the time you see these players, they get the boots immediately versus the bat with the stick. So you can't get killed at level 4. Because here he could get Flame Break, and he could go for this solo kill here if Stoikov's not careful. Ooh. So I think that's why Supreme's giving high fives.
I mean, yeah, Stoikov's got to, as you said, really keep the distance, allow those stacks to reset.
I usually don't see these Bat Riders, the first 3 waves, have this type of like evenness versus Alina. So really well played from Supreme. Up top, toss back Ari.
See if we can finish off the job.
One more hit in the
Close
tree
here.
throw.
Oh, he's got the stick charges. Oh, he's going to be fine. And we're seeing on the CS and D, you know, even with the lane swaps, you know, Otaka not having kind of easy free farm down bottom. Having the slowest start of the course.
AA just doesn't. AA as a support, like it's a 5-position AA in the offlane, doesn't really trade very well with most support heroes. Even though he's using all his entire mana pool to attempt, can't actually out trade a Bane too easy. Guys, nice little bash there on the flag bearer creep. RNG there for Otaker. And now Stokov's safe. He got over the hump of that level 4. Boots are ready. Supreme couldn't really push and take advantage. But he's even in the mid matchup, which is, yeah, like we said, amazing for Supreme. Top, another toss.
This time round, a little bit deeper. Ari, he's got a little bit of a longer way to walk, but will manage to get away once again.
They're out of regen up here, though. Just the sticks and fairy fire. So Ari could just get gone again.
As he's in with the catch, and indeed this time Ari will fall.
It's not even, honestly, that's not even the worst, because you want to reset. Rather than walking to base as this super slow Crystal Maiden, this is probably more beneficial. It's a good kill, of course, for Water Rune enjoyers, but I don't think Ari's actually that upset about those sub deaths.
Good pressure though from the Tiny. Looking for these opportunities to set things up for the DP.
He's doing really nice with this 1-1-1 skill build. Bottom, nighttime is hit. Can Mary get in front of Kidara? Oh, he tried. Still might be able to just walk him down with the brain sap. Close, not quite.
Yeah, Palantimos rather spend his time still focused on the lane and just making sure that Otaka does not have an easy time farming down here.
They are shutting down the Void Coil. I mean, 17 last hits. That is probably Mary. Good dodge.
So the bashes come in. Need a few more Otaka and he won't quite get them.
Well played, honestly. That looked very scary for Mary for a second. And we do see Palantimos. He's just queuing up his armlet. He's got the Helm of Iron Will. They can't really push him out of lane with this until they have Chrono in particular. So even though they lane swapped on the side of Into the Breach, as we mentioned, Water Rune enjoys with these 3 strong lanes. It's looking nice. Rune does go the way to Supreme. First time, I think, in like 10 games, I don't see 3 heroes in the mid lane contesting Water Runes or Power Runes at the 6th minute. They're gonna rotate though. Supreme still has bottom fights happening. They still have a siege in mid. So Supreme and Ari could look to dive onto Stokov and get some tower pressure here. He's got the point in Flame Break now too.
We'll see if there's any sort of reactions if that dive comes in.
Stokov has like no mana. He has 1 nuke. Uh-oh.
It's a very dangerous spot to be. There's the TP's coming in. We'll see if it's going to be enough to offer any sort of safety for Stoikov. The lasso comes out.
Okay.
Stoikov, he's going to be fine. He's able to walk this one off. The backup comes in from Water Rune enjoyers. They'll be able to make sure their Lena lives. In fact, Stoikov, he's thinking about getting back in on this. Trying to close in onto Ari. To slow off with the tree, but Ari should also be fine. Nobody to go down quite yet. Supreme poking back in the sticky napalm stacks, building up on Mary, but wasn't able to quite connect with the Flame Break.
He's trying to toss back. Level 2 toss. He's getting stickied up. Can he get away? He will. Supreme got greedy there, I think. He's still looking to chase, potentially, but on the initial go on the Lina, I think he could just... he was trying to save Lasso. It's a typical thing that Bat Riders try to do. You go for this kill without it. He hesitated on it a little bit and gets caught in the stun while he goes for Lasso. So a nice play for Stokov to survive in good rotation from supports, but a little bit of a slip up there from Supreme. Still top of net worth, though, so still having an excellent game.
Want to see top lane. Exorcism used from BNC to put pressure onto the towers. Able to get it down to half HP with the first round.
He's good to keep pressuring for a moment up here. As soon as the Visage hits 6, this lane becomes a lot more difficult. Does always have the Spirit Siphon charges, but most heroes will still struggle versus those familiars in lane. It's also, yeah, 3 points in Grave Chill, so
And Supreme's
Seeing
going
the
for the
move.
rotation because they know how far up the lane they're pushed.
No Exorcism also, so they're not worried about getting turned on.
If Supreme gets something out of this, we'll get tossed back underneath the tower. Z's, of course, far away from any potential safety, will go down. Supreme setting up here to make sure that the side lanes start to get some of these kills.
He stole the flag bearer creep from his safe lane. How rude.
Easy money.
Easy money. All things considered, Taker, he's 500 behind the Night Stalk. It could be worse.
Yeah, I mean, clearly with the decision to put him down here, maybe they kind of expected that you know, it wasn't going to be easy, but for what they sort of saw as the potential of what would happen if he stayed top, it's better than if he'd stayed up there and tried to farm against the aggression of the Tiny and the Death Prophet in lane.
Yeah, also, even just that, the Death Prophet could have potentially, or more than likely, taken the tower now at this point, too, if it was a Void up there. Because the Vicious and CM up there, they're able to prevent BNC from doing it. Giving the mid to the Tiny. Stoikov looking to try to make some rotations happen. Tough lane to sit in, though. Sit versus the Batrider. Supreme, I believe he has Boots of Travel coming out now also.
Yeah, good timing here.
Very early.
3-10 minutes.
And they're double checking the runes as well. Ari again. Oop. They want to dive.
So TP's coming in. Supreme won't be able to get on top of Z's, but the toss is there. Frostbite won't do enough damage to kill off this Tinies. Z's will be fine.
Wants to hold lasso for a bigger kill. Haster and top Mary. What? They're going to just grab him.
Yeah, he's not happy with that. You know, you take the haste rune, I'll take your life.
Mm-hmm. Supreme continued having that top net worth. Visage catching back up, but BNC. Exorcism's back up. Thinking about the tower. The bots, though. The Batrider's in.
As soon as he pops the Exorcism, they're there on top of him. Get the siphons off. Surrounded by the three heroes, he needs help. CZ's coming with the avalanche. Hold back the two of them. BNC able to get off another siphon. Toss to the side as well. Z's doing everything in his power to keep BNC alive, and it will work out. BNC still good to go for now. As Pound Timos was trying to continue this fight and get something in return for losing the Tiny. They won't quite be able to turn and get a trade kill. But some great moves there from Z's, just keeping his core DP alive.
Ooh, and the AA Blast comes in just after the heal. That was very close to stopping the heal. Good play from Tiny, giving his life for his Death Prophet. They don't get to hit the tower, though, with Exorcism. So I think Into the Breach, still very happy with the way that they've formed that defense. And the fact that Otaker gets the space down bottom also to get a tower. Might even also be able to, yeah, should be able to set up a kill. Don't even need Chrono.
Yeah, Supreme is just all over the map now with these bots. Top to bottom, any chance he sees for a kill, he'll be there.
Can't believe how, yeah, I cannot believe how great of a lane that he really had versus the Lina. I've seen it go completely differently, but Supreme, that's going to allow him to really be that front line for his team to just pierce through things. His back can be kind of tanky also. He's going to have 1500 HP or more when that Ogre X does come in. So can likely just commit for heroes. And the amount of space that you're able to make when you are a Batrider with bots like this, that's where the Void just loves you. Otaker's just like, yes, my game is recovered. I'm no longer the bottom core. He's actually one of the top.
I see a smoke up from Water and Enjoys. They want to try and do something with the Laguna.
They want to get a tower early, too. It's 12 minutes, and with Death Prophet, they still haven't been able to hit one. The fact they lost their safe lane tower to a Void says a lot.
We'll see again, Supreme in the bots. He's heading over. Get on top of BNC. Ice Blast.
Off the mark.
Yeah, between the middle of the two of them. Does still clip Stoikov. BNC's trying to heal up with the siphons. See if he's able to stay alive here. He's still living here. Supreme will get the grab, though, with the lasso onto Stoikov. BNC slowly but surely still goes down. They'll also find Mary off to the side, who committed in to get the kill on Ari. There's 3 dead on Water and Enjoys. Again, Supreme just with these moves, always involved. As the Batrider, it's making it very difficult for Water and Enjoys to look for these sort of smoke plays.
He's breaking the game overall. Like even though what we mentioned, you know, the lane's really strong for the side of Water Enjoyers, the Bat Rider, he came out ahead and he's, like you said, he's everywhere.
He's been in every kill.
Single one of these moves. Yep.
5-0-3.
He's able to get on top of the Lina quite easily there too. Stoikov got hit by the blast. He's just dead. Can't contribute anything. This Bat pick working perfectly for them. And as we said, during all of it, Otaker, he's top net worth at least of the carries. Mask of Madness and Javelin finished up. And again, they're looking to make moves very fast-paced. They know that the Supreme can just join in at any moment, so essentially they have 4 heroes up here. Water Enjoyers, they're gonna give the respect now to it. They're gonna hesitate.
I mean, they know how difficult it is to make a move whilst this Bat's got the potential to get involved. Unless they catch Bat alone. Supreme.
Big play.
Caught by the grip. See if they can burst through, and TPs are coming in. The stun will actually catch the both of them. This might give them a chance to pick up both kills. As it does indeed. Palantimos gets the double. As the Light Strike Array catching them both, catching Otaker as he TPs in. That's a massive couple of kills there for Water Enjoyers in the mid.
Just gets slightly clipped by it, right? The stun, the silence, can't back up his Bat Rider. Very nice play camping the rune.
They might be able to get more. The toss back on Kadaro. Damage from Stoikov. It'll be enough to take him out. See Jibbe desperate to take something in return as he tries to focus down Palantimos, but the Night Stalker's too tanky.
Beautiful series of events, getting the 2 most important heroes in the game just because you can't Baroon. Stoikov fully recovered, Bat off the map for some time too.
See, as soon as Supreme's back in the game, though, he's smoking up. Wants to get something done with the lasso.
They are crippling Blink this game, BNC, right? We saw also during that whole situation, as our beautiful observer pointed out, Exorcism was used and BNC got killed there. And now they're going to go for him again. Oh? Okay, go find him.
See if he can do anything to survive. The Siphon's now Freezing Field's coming out. Ari's going to lay down the damage with the ultimate. We'll get put to a stop by the Nightmare. Lasso onto BNC. Will set him up for Otaker to finish him off. The Luzar in return. Otaker was going to jump in with the Chrono. Only catches the Tiny. But it will be another guaranteed kill on top of it all here for Into the Breach. And I've got to ask Fogged as well. Thoughts on this one? We've got a Midas on the Night Stalker.
I saw him going for it.
I thought this man was meant to be our playmaker this game.
He wants to also transition. He's probably like, uh-oh, state of the game is a little weird with the way the Bat Rider was having all this success. Maybe thinking we do need a secondary carry, I guess. You already know my thoughts about Midas, so I'm not going to say it.
Yeah. Now we'll see. I'm excited to go. I mean, you know, for Palantimos, it's probably a case of, yeah, sure, I'll play a playmaker. Yeah, give me Night Stalker. Yeah, Lina, you can carry. And he's like, oh, I got a lot of money. Oh, time to get the Midas. Time to still be the carry myself. I mean, last game definitely was very impressive on the Luna. You know, this man knows what he's doing.
Stupid little Midas item. God, I hate this item. I'm alright with it in some games when you're playing versus like dominators and stuff like that. But I mean, we'll see if it pays off. If he's able to keep up with farm, keep ahead of this void, he could just be this very tanky big nuisance. That then they have these 2 cores that are scaling. So. And he will always be able to stick like on the void if he is very farmed. He can actually solo kill the void in a lot of situations. Until we get to those later stages. Because he's level 11, void level 9 at the moment still. Getting a wraparound.
Oh, they get the grip on Otaker. To set things up, back into the silence of Palantimos. See if they can get Otaker away. They can't. Palantimos stays on top of him, takes him down.
Big ice blast though.
They lose Mary, and they lose more here. Stoikov. He's got to run. Ari trying to get the catch, but the silence comes in from BNC. Stops Ari from being able to get any sort of setup still. The bird's in on top of Z's and BNC, bringing the Tiny down very, very low here. Z's off to the side. I'm going to continue to try and chase, but the Avalanche catches them. BKB's off in time for Supreme. It's on top of BNC. Visage getting pushed back to the side. The damage, it's enough. BNC will be able to take down Jibbe. It will cost him his own life as Supreme cleans up.
Decent chase for it though. Getting the void. They do get hit by what? It looked like a 3 or 4 man ice blast though, which allows Into the Breach to chase forward with Supreme, and he just picks up the BKB because he's so far ahead.
Z's shows his face in the river, but not for long.
wanted to prevent this bottle refill. Supreme low mana, no longer invis bottom.
There's this invis, and of course still has lasso up for the next play.
They do keep getting this void, but Otaker's not really that. He's underfarmed compared to the Night Stalker, but he's got Treads, Mask of Madness, Maelstrom, and he always has the AA, so he always has kill threat with Chrono still, even though he has died twice this game. Supreme with this invis is stalking behind the tower too. Oof, if he hung around a little longer, he could have probably got Palantimos.
I was going to say Palantimos to step out pretty far in the mid.
He still might be able to. Oh man, it's close.
He's staying close to the tower, Palantimos.
But BNC not so lucky.
Yeah, they'll go for BNC instead off to the side. Of course, he was not expecting the invis bat to strike from the shadows.
Jipe hitting level 12 off that, immediately summons level 2 familiars. And of course, important, Otaker getting these last hits on these kills. Pretty massive. All right, let's see if this Midas pays off. They're going to have... it's going to be a little delayed, of course, that BKB timing for the Night Stalker, but they do have it done on the Lina. And they still have this deep ward down that was not taken away.
I'll blink on Tiny now as well. Z's has already been making some great plays, great saves. So could be around to bail out those that get gone on.
He's always gonna have. They're always gonna have good window to kill a Taker too. At this, like when they have the Tiny, the Night Stalker. So until he has BKB, trying to find this void is definitely a really good option for the side of Waterrune Enjoyers. But they're not able to find anything here. They swoop toward their ward. Into the breach, does get away, and they'll have time to secure not only DD, but maybe even buy time for Lasso. 45 seconds till it's gonna be back up. Chrono's ready. They want to just make a move with Chrono, it looks like.
Same time, Waterrune Enjoyers won't be too opposed to a fight themselves. They'll smoke.
Stoikov is low mana. 300 mana on this Lina. More of that right-click Lina, but definitely needs mana to be able to keep up his fiery soul stacks.
Looks like they want to set up for a bit of a push around the exorcism. But at the same time, a little suspicious about what Into the Breach have in store for them around this mid.
They're just, it's so scary because you walk up DP, if he just gets Chrono to A-Blast, he's dead. Doesn't matter BKB, doesn't matter anything. So trying to set up something there, but Into the Breach all sticking together. And Otaker, if he's able to get this BKB, then the big issue is going to start happening for this Night Stalker. Are you ever going to be able to kill him? Are you going to have the silence, the stuns on before he's able to get it off in particular? So that's really all Otaker needs to be mostly protected. Sure, there's still Fiend Script, but...
I'm going to look for it again. Another smoke here from Waterrune Enjoyers.
Stoikov a little bit healthier on the mana pool this time around.
And they don't want to be sitting around. They do want to make these plays. A little bit more aggressive from them this time than as we saw at this point in game one.
Looks like the power runes are going to be a big thing that both teams are playing around, since both their mids can just explode off them. And haste to Arcane on the side of Into the Breach DD for Lina. It's a regen. Baited. But can they catch something?
What? So they get the jump onto the void. They get the toss back, but the Chrono is off in time. The Chrono's there onto the two of them and onto the big one, of course. Stoikov caught in it. As a toss gone wrong there. Otaker throwing the tip over towards Z's.
They don't get the full
always
chain
the threat. Yeah. I mean, I mean, Stoikov, I don't know, was he sort of slow with the light strike follow-up, or?
I think they just didn't see. I think maybe it was like a lack of direct communication.
Yeah, they didn't sort of call
like
it.
That.
Yeah.
Because he also, I think, he Avid and then tossed instead of doing the toss, walk up, and then Ava back. So a little bit of a slip up there kind of gives a free initiation for Otaker.
Well, let's see. Yeah, because you can combo this right with the light strike if you make the call, but and DJ just not time. It happened so quickly that the light strike was coming, but not before. And also, I believe, wasted grip at the end of that as well. Attempted with the Fiend's grip, but immediately got stopped. Very unfortunate set of events there for Waterrune Enjoyers. And Supreme,
they're going to lose.
he's going to look to push on for more. They get the jump in, lasso down onto Mary. We'll see Z's jump in and try and help out. Mary buying a bit of time here with the self-nightmare, but does still die. Does allow them to turn and take down Jibe in return. See a taker. First life's gone. Palantimos in on top of the AA. Ends the life of Kadaro. Try and see if they can find more. A time walk and a TP gets her taker back to safety.
Decent trade kills, though. They got Aegis. They got 2 kills as well.
Uh-oh, he doesn't have a TP on the CM. A bit of a scary part of the map here.
He's going to sneak. I believe in him. Oh. Uh-oh.
Oh, he's terrified.
He's Valentino. Oh, my God.
Terrified.
The Batman is cutting off his escape.
Oh, no.
Okay. He has this ward to play around, though.
Yeah, they don't know.
Oh, God. They might de-ward his ward, and then what does he do?
Oh, no.
Oh, God. Oh, God, Ari.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
All right, he's going to be stuck there for a while.
This is a scary part of the woods.
But a pretty good fight, either way, for the side of Water Rune Enjoyers. I think that was a pretty big toss back coming up from ZYZZ. He's asking, like, his team's like, what got you, bro?
Ah, this is nice. Here we go.
What a bailout.
Here comes the backup. They'll be able to sweep across, make sure Ari's safe enough to get back to their warm embrace.
Hey, that ain't no 5 CM. That's a 4 CM. You better defend him. I like it.
There we go. BKB's now done on a take-up, so he'll have an even easier time being in the front of these fights, even if he does get thrown in by Z's.
That being said, though, on the other side, Palantimos has his. Lina also has a Shadow Blade, too, to sneak around. Now that with Bat Blink also, they have clear ways to always get into the fight, though. So Batrider Bane might have to be really quick on his fingers versus Supreme, because if Supreme grabs Lina or the Night Stalker in a lot of situations, even Death Bravo, one of the cores, they're likely just dead if it doesn't get immediately Fiend's Grip or saved somehow. Kadaro in mid. I mean, Ziz.
Oh, nice Nightmare dodge. May just give him a chance. We'll see, actually. Wow.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, see, he's got the BKB off in time. Taker has got a chrono if he wants to drop it, and he will.
Oh, nice one.
Be able to set up onto the two of them, catches BNC as well as Mary.
Beautiful chrono. They even saw Stoikov, I guess, in the back, but can't quite catch him. I think Tiny's also lucky to live. Bane kind of giving his life, but
he sort of lives there because BNC was he found himself very far up the mid lane, right?
Yeah, maybe he actually got the Death Prop and the Bane killed because they were trying to save the Tiny, something like that. But either way, Into the Breach will take that one. There's Void doing Void things. I love it also. A Taker, he knows. I love when I like when the players know at the times when they should, like, you sacrifice the gold for Shard. It's such a good Shard, especially on Void, so I'm glad that he purchases it.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. It's insane.
I feel like a lot of times I see they're like, oh, I'm gonna get it from Roche, but it's so damn good, especially this game, and especially on Void most situations. Further initiation range, further reinitiation, etc. Escape.
And Water Rune enjoys another smoke.
They're trying
there's
to
a
play
bit of a
with Chronos
chance.
down.
Yeah. And they know that they have to play like this. Oh, Ari! This time around, this area of the woods ain't definitely not safe. He's on his own this time, and they will find him.
Thanks to gank, though. It's a core that does not get killed because of it. For now.
Nice Jibe.
He's got Stone Form.
Now he's got a tier 1 tower if backup wants to come in, and looks like it's not even needed. He's too speedy. He's out of there.
Yep. Nice slow. Lol. I have Boots the Bearing. Immune.
And Water Rune enjoys, they're just so desperate to look for these kills, and they're just not quite finding the clean opportunities to engage on the cores.
This is a nice one.
Maybe this will do it. Set up, toss back, into the grip. There's no answer for that one. They get Jibe. I mean, they finally are able to find one of these cores that they've been hunting for quite some time.
Yep, and they're keeping up with that gold, too. Just keeping it nice and consistent. The Lina Night Stalker keeping steady with the Bat and Void. Watching, do they know that there's a Glimmer Cape out? Okay, they don't have any dust. They have very little sentries, so as soon as they do see it from Kadaro, they will have to at least buy some, because I see some branches on this Tiny. Got to be careful for the Glimmer Cape. Have to have detection. Right now, no Fiend's Grip is up, and no Laguna Blade. Chronosphere's at the ready. Into the Breach, likely to make a move here.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
About to be 18 on the bat too, so a little bit of lesser cooldown would be nice. They're actually setting up on top. They see this big wave coming in. They know someone might be tempted to farm it.
Ults up for into the breach means it's again a very tough ordeal for Water Rune Enjoyers to try for a kill.
Palantimos has Blink, so he can get to backlines, at least to mess with the AA, mess with the CM, but of course, as you mentioned, BKB Void, he's fine. Same with the Bat. Can be very disruptive, though. He can pierce right through that Chronosphere.
With the scan, they know that they're coming down this top lane.
Okay.
Palantimos, he's trying to set up for the trees. They get the jump onto the AA. Immediate move to the back lines. See at the same time, Void trying to initiate the front. He's dropped the Chrono and he's caught Stoikov. They got enough damage to take him out. Defensive Nightmare comes in. It'll give Stoikov the chance to put the BKB. Toss over to the side. Stoikov will live through that attempt off the back of the Chrono. And now into the breach. They've got to retreat. Supreme getting chased down.
He's dead.
He's actually going to end up ticking out there to the damage. The BNC was able to get out on top of him. As an excellent hold there outside of the tier 2 from Water Rune Enjoyers. You know, it was a very, very deep Chrono, and the problem that time round, you know, Palantimos gets in on the back lines, and they pretty much make it impossible for any sort of follow-up damage to come out from these supports.
They both just double blinked in immediately, so both of them could not really do much of it. They didn't have detection for the initial go, then they put one down, but yeah, great jump. The simultaneous jump just catches them off guard, and they can't actually get to the Lina. Taker maybe just tunnel visioning a little too hard to go for the Lina.
Yeah, for sure. So the status of the rest of his team having to deal with this huge Night Stalker coming at them at the back lines, you know, on his own, not quite having the power to bring down a Lina in the Chrono.
No, they have to have the AA Blast always coming in with it too, so has to protect these supports a little bit better. Big move from Water Rune Enjoyers. A DD now on Stoikov as well. Also Blink finishing a full Octarine. Some pretty big items picked up after that last fight. That some pretty big blunder from into the breach, but they're looking to go perhaps again, even without Chrono.
I mean, that's difficult.
Yeah,
maybe if they
Exo's
get a lasso.
Playing near the pit, at the least.
Mm, 20 seconds until Roshan.
If they can get a grabber on this ward, and the supports are able to actually cast, somebody's dead. But it's all depending on if they're able to actually get those spells off, as we saw last time.
Going to start it. Z's going to get caught at the front of it all. And we'll be able to get the toss over towards the Palantimos there, as Palantimos gets handed Kadaro.
We'll take her.
And there's immediate buyback. In fact, Lagoon, he's just taking him out on his own. Stoikov! The full combo and the DD coming into action. As a Taker goes down, and they're of course going to chase on for more here. Water Rune Enjoys. Palantimos finding Ari. Jibe, of course, left behind. There's no one else to help him. Supreme's already just completely left the area and gone down towards the bottom lane. He knows there's nothing more to be had here.
And
as Water Rune Enjoys, they can step into the pit. They've still got DD going on Stoikov. This Roshan, it's all theirs.
It's all theirs, and they can use this Exorcism to continue perhaps taking even a tier 2 or even a next fight. Huge plays. Stoikov getting the catch on a Taker from the tree lines.
Yeah. He was not ready for that one bit. 7K lead now.
It was into the breach, playing a posturing at least kind of aggressively without Chronosphere, so they get punished for just their posturing. As this Night Stalker at the Midas, it's paying off, Owen.
I mean, at this point, it certainly is. For sure. Yeah, look, he's got to have BKB Nullifier. Nullifier is 100 gold away.
Now they don't need that detection. You know, screw it. You guys don't need to carry dusts. They don't care about no glimmer.
I mean, some of these heroes have just got to be terrified of this Night Stalker, right? And Palantimos in these fights, just getting on top of them. And what do? You can't save everybody.
His damage is going to be insane. Like, look at his damage right now, and then add 185 on top of it. once he pops it, of course, into Dark Ascension. So these supports are going to essentially get like 2-3-shotted from this NS, who is easily able to commit onto them now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, he'll go into the back lines every single time. Not a lot the Pound team must be scared of as long as he gets the BKB off. And that's the thing, when sort of he charges into the back lines, what do you do as the Void? Like, do you chrono the Night Stalker in an effort to try and kill him? I mean,
I think you have to. Honestly, you have to start putting more attention to him. Because sure, Stoikov's a problem, but at this point he has Aegis, so I think right now you just have to protect your supports. They're very important for a lot of your damage in that chrono. Tough position now for Into the Breach versus this Aegis versus Awakens as well. Kadaro, it's a gem.
And they're going to get the setup. Toss back from Z's. Let's see the jump for Taker. Gets the chrono out of the two of them, but where's the damage? There's a silence at the moment on the AA, so Kadaro's blast coming out a bit late. Means that it doesn't hit anything at all. Now Stoikov does get grabbed out by the lasso, but of course he has the Aegis. He's going to be back for another round. A Taker getting chased out by BNC. Will manage to get the time walk off, but now overall it's just Water and Enjoyers ready to chase them down, and they may even be able to close up on the Taker Void here as he's got nowhere else to run. The fear pushes him back. Water and Enjoyers now 10k up, as solidly performing in these team fights. And again, just sort of the struggle for the Void. A Taker gets in, drops this chrono, but I mean, yeah, BNC, he got the silence off in time on the AA, so there was no blast. There was just, again, not that follow-up.
It was perfect. I mean, like, you literally summed it up. It was perfect, the grab that they get. It's a good chrono, but they just, there's no extra damage follow-up afterwards. And he also does catch his bat, which does look a little awkward. So another DD at the ready. Silver Edge and Lincoln's. Starting to cruise through this game. Top 3 cores net worth.
Well, they're looking very impressive here, Water and Enjoyers. I think, coming into this series, after being able to take a game off Secret in that upper bracket matchup into the Breach, this was maybe expected to be a matchup that was going to be a lot easier than this has ended up looking. Game 1, it was a struggle for Into the Breach to get that win. And now here in Game 2, Water and Enjoyers, they're taking a serious lead against them.
And it's with a pretty clever way that they drafted, right? Like we were talking about how they might look for going for this carry hero that takes a step back so that the Lina can carry. Palutimus, it kind of is that hero that does take a little step back, but he's been carrying anyway.
Yeah, he's still got the money.
Jumping in. He's breaking the lineup, really. He's breaking these supports, making it so there's no damage for Taker. And of course, also, have to give credit. I forgot to mention it because it was a lot of things, but the Ogre Seal Totem, of course, from BNC was the thing that dodged the AA blast, I think, inside that river fight. But yeah, this little final thing. I was like, there was something I was forgetting, but Taker gets spotted.
And Chrono's back up. See Supreme. Is able to get the lasso off in time. Do they have the damage? Now, Palutimus is final. Taker jumps in. He's only managed to catch the Bane in the chrono. Will get the kill, but now he's so low here. Stoikov jumps in. Laguna Blade finishes off Taker. As another fight where the chrono is just not good enough to cut it here for the team. And we see, again, the tips just being fired the way of Taker. They know how much he's struggling in this game to find these opportunities to set up for the team fight that Into the Breach need to find if they want to have any chance of holding back against Water and Enjoyers.
Yeah, he's jumping in blind to really go for anything, and because of it, they get a Bane, but they don't even get the Night Stalker kill. That was a lasso that was committed to try to go for it. Now Taker, he's really struggling this time.
He's ready to dive in the base there, looking for some cheeky tossbacks.
He's got A on disc, he's feeling safe. And the push commences.
A fair bit of damage here on Z's. Z's will die.
It's a gem. Can they get it?
What?
Oh.
That's Supreme. He's able to retrieve it. BNC now taking a heavy amount of damage. We'll get the siphons off. We'll be fine. BKB's back up. He's also got a Lotus on the way out.
Okay. They can't actually push forward, though. They have to be a little more careful versus this Jibe Visage. Level 18. The Mindbreaker, I think, also tripping up the Tiny, but I don't think he expected to be stopped that much from just this Visage there. As it's going to be a full AC. So, I mean, Jibe is still scaling pretty hard on this Visage. But it's a very uphill battle versus this Lina and versus this Night Stalker who just assassinate the supports. A DD. Okay. Chrono not at the ready, though.
Yeah, not
that could have maybe been a saving grace for them.
Actually queuing up the Ags for himself here, Otaka.
Oh, look at top. You see that Supreme, of course, he picked up the gem, but he also bought a 4-staff between these last fights for these Lincolns. Now he can actually go for the target. He can go for the Lina in most situations because of this. As long as he sees him. And that gem is going to help a lot versus Silver Edge, too. So it was a pretty big death on Ziz.
Let's see what they've got here. Smoke up. Oh, it's coming to an end, though. And they've got Chrono back in a second.
Almost 25 on Palantimos. Probably wanting that before
massive.
the next fight. Overwhelming blink. I mean, these supports, it's so beautiful.
They're just dead.
He blinks in and they're just like, oh my god, I can't move. And he 3-shots me. I think they do have to probably expend one of those big grabs onto this Night Stalker at this point. You can't just focus onto Stoikov.
Full Octarine as well now for Supreme.
He's 20 as well. Flame Break charges. But Palantimos now 25. All right. So it's pretty much constant. That's Dark Ascension.
Who's going to start this? 30 seconds until we see when Roshan's back up.
Still have this ward down in mid, too. This one wasn't actually somehow taken out, even though Into the Breach does have a gem.
Looking for the smoke around. How prepared are Into the Breach? They're holding this high ground area for now. Starting to step out.
Kidaro's in the front lines. That's the AA. He's got to be careful.
Supreme, he's going to try and jump across them and look for them, but already Z's and BNC, they've made the move on top of them, but Taker will be able to get the Chrono, does catch the 3 of them. Never catch the lead off to the side, but a defensive nightmare comes in as Stoikov, he's able to survive, get the BKB off Mary, turns, grip, Laguna thrown down onto a Taker, they blow up the void. Supreme will opt for a lasso over towards Mary, finally they kill the Bane, but they've lost 3 heroes, Kadaro having to buy back here on Into the Breach, make that 4, it's a triple kill for Palantimos, as once again these team fights just all over the place for Into the Breach. It just seems to be too much for them to deal with right now. Waterrune enjoys continuing to overrun them in the team fights.
The Night Stalker pick is honestly just crushing it. Again, he blinks into the AA, he gets the fear on top, and the AA can't release the blast in time. It ends up passing over the 3 heroes, so it does apply the debuff, but they needed the damage, they needed everything there. As onto the tier 4s, Palantimos level 26, 11-0-6, phenomenal performance.
Not something you'd necessarily expect, and I think to a point Into the Breach, they probably weren't expecting this either, being picked against them to close up the draft, but it really couldn't have been anything better here from Palantimos. Top stuff.
And we definitely got to at least feel, at least for me a little bit, you know, I mentioned the AA and the CM. Sometimes you can have a little bit this lack of this front line in some situations if things start going poorly. I'm seeing the AA on the front line in some of these team fights, and he keeps getting tossed and comboed, so.
I mean, to be fair to him, even if he's on the back line, this Night Stalker's finding him. You know, he's like, it doesn't matter where I am. I'm just going to walk around wherever. I'm probably dead. That's my life.
That is very true.
You know. I see a little hesitance to commit for the Roshan. Waterrune enjoys.
Chrono's still down for 40, but yeah, being careful they don't get full comboed.
Of course, they're ready to keep this going. Waterrune enjoys. Smoke up again. Further big items being done. Hex is finished on Stoikov.
Look at Palantimos. He doesn't even have boots. He actually got rid of his boots and gets a Hyperstone. He's like, I don't need boots for these pesky supports.
I know, he blinks in on top of them. They're not going to be able to run from him.
They're not going anywhere.
Doesn't matter how slow he's moving. They'll be moving slower.
Look at him go, 457 move speed.
Here we go, charging in. Oh, Taker's already put the BKB. He's going to try and help Jibei. He'll jump across. There's no Chrono, of course. So a bit of an awkward move. They'll lose Jibei. And now he gets caught immediately by the grip. Tried to jump back in as the Chrono came back up online, but Mary grabs him. 3 dead. Soon to be 4 by the looks of it, was Supreme getting found by the Light Strike Array from Stoikov. It looks like we're going to be going to a game 3, Fogged.
It definitely is. What a wow. Palantimos, the Night Stalker, yeah, they better tip him. whoever recommended that last
I mean,
pick
whoever
also,
made
it's
that
worked
call.
perfectly.
Yeah, it really has. They'll get another kill on Jibe here. Or maybe not. Stonefall might prevent that before the game's over. So
Wow.
there we have it. GG is called. Waterrune enjoys taking this game too. And they did not look... this was not a shaky victory like Into the Breach pulled off in game 1. This was pretty brutal.
In a quick fashion, too, because I think around, 25, 27 minutes into the Breach, they were having pretty clean plays happening, the Chronos connecting and stuff like that, but then, bam, these Blink Daggers and stuff come online for the Night Stalker. He's able to just stop the backline from doing much of anything, and it feels like it was right from that top fight, right?